While you've all been having fun playing Brighter Shores, I've been miserably doing research. Specifically, testing every profession in the game to find the fastest rate of knowledge points and thus bonus experience. Because my little toad brain has been convinced helping other people be more efficient is somehow more dopamine than just playing the damn game by myself. In this video, I'll be giving a breakdown of all my findings when testing all of the knowledge point gains in the form of a tier list because that's the meta. I found some very interesting points, and I genuinely think you might be surprised by the results. Originally, this started because a lot of people have been saying Chef and Den raids were the fastest knowledge points, but I wanted to test this theory out because I was pretty sure that it was just due to the perception of time that shifts when you're semi-AFK, watching YouTube videos like this, literally playing RuneScape at the same time, or pretending to work from home. So I tested them, and then I ended up testing another, and another. And then I put all of the data in the sheet and calculated them out, scripted a video, and here we are. God damn it, I just want to level alchemy. Starting out with our two fan favorites, Chef and Den raids. This will give us a baseline to work with. While cooking everyone's favorite vegetable soup with full uptime, we earned 360% an hour. When doing Den raids, I got a 365% per hour, while being AFK rather than optimally starting each fight manually. Keep in mind that my gear is decent but not amazing, and different gear plus different level gaps will give different knowledge rates. This puts Den raids at A tier and Chef at B tier, which might surprise a lot of you. But as you see some of the other rates, you'll see why. The only reason they're here is because they're far more AFK than other skills. The reason raids are above Chef is because with raids, you can reset up your AFK in as little as 3 clicks, and it lasts longer than making soups as well. Just to really drive home the fact that Chef doesn't make as much people might think, Alchemy gives around 362% per hour, pretty much the same as Chef. Even though you're using multiple ingredients, you need to bank more frequently. This is because each step of alchemy gives knowledge points, and it edges out just in front. But you can only queue 12 at a time compared to Chef, so this puts alchemy at C tier. After doing a couple of tests with combat, however, I found that it does sit above Den raids as we expected. You don't get detective experience, but the rewards being higher, being able to fight mobs constantly, as well as the at level and possibly use weaknesses, I managed to get up to 465% per hour with a purple weapon. Given some decent gear, all combat sits at an A tier, which won't be a surprise to many of you. Finally, I tested spotting thieves for 10 minutes before I gave up when I realized I was getting as low as 300% per hour, making it the easiest D tier of my life. Woodcutters shows us how important the training method is. If we run around and cut ash trees and bank them, which isn't a close bank, but it's reasonably close compared to some other trees, we get 320% an hour, making a D tier. Alternatively, if you cut brambles, you get an almost 100% action uptime, and get an impressive 440% per hour, or just over 1 knowledge point every 15 minutes. However, when comparing other professions around the same knowledge point rate, with brambles you get 0 rewards other than woodcutter experience, so this keeps it a B tier for me. Woodcutter's sister skill carpentry does pretty poorly at 340% per hour, which is a trend you'll see as we get through the processing skills. Not only that, but when you're buying logs, carpentry will bleed you money constantly, even at level 20, as many of you already know. D tier because carpentry sucks. The 3 crafters in the mines region gave quite slow knowledge points. But literally as I was working on this video, Andrew came out with a patch fixing the fact that it would only get 1 instance of knowledge per bar, bone or rock instead of 6. This is not the first and will not be the last time this happens. After the patch, I found that Blacksmith gave 367% per hour, Stonemason gave 362%, and everyone's favorite skill to dump knowledge into, Bonewright, is a measly 330%. They sit pretty close in points, but I rate them all differently. Blacksmith is completely comfy with no poles required, all in the same room, and if you're doing goblins you don't even need gas leeches. This is an easy B tier. Stonemasonry needs gas leeches and a bit more management of items, putting it a solid C. Boneright, however, requires poles, extra inventory management, and has the most expensive materials, all for slower knowledge, which put it at D tier as well. Our final processing skill is leatherworking, coming in at an abysmal 315% per hour. This is 45 points slower than Chef, likely because of the banking and selling time. However, due to the 3-step process for every hide, it's quite a comfortable AFK, so I still put it at C tier. Alright, so I've been holding out on you, but honestly, I just wanted to highlight just how good these upcoming methods are compared to everything else. There's 2 outliers here, and they're big ones. The first is Merchant, which you might already know about. Weighing in at about 560% per hour, you're looking at a knowledge point every 11 minutes. Not only that, but every single delivery scales up with you as you level. This does come with caveats, however. In my 15 minutes test, I had very little waiting around. There's also a heavy RNG component and a skilling component. To get over the 500% per hour, you need to be constantly doing merchant runs and not waiting around for easy routes that you know of. As you level up, your options will expand and your routes will get more complex. Not only that, but you'll also need the detective shortcuts to be truly efficient. If you were to get very good at the merchant skill, which I'm not quite there yet so I can't teach anyone, I reckon you could easily reach as high as a knowledge point every 10 minutes. Despite all these pitfalls, with the possibility of gaining over 500% and only getting better as you get good at the skill, that's an easy S tier. There's one more secret champion of knowledge point earning. It's snuck in under everyone's radars for far too long, and it's the very first non-combat skill you touch in the game, Forager. With good movement and focused clicking, there are many foraging routes that give you a ton of knowledge points. The best I found so far gives 540% per hour consistently with no RNG and only requires 16 Forager. By fitting as many nodes as you can and ending with 24 items in a perfect loop using the storage rift, you can gain between 20 to 27% every 3 minutes. And that's just at level 16. Another benefit Forager has is that it's a gathering skill. There is no risk of overcapping knowledge like with crafting or merchant, meaning you'll always get your point pop right away. While far more active than something like Den Raids and Chef, you'll be getting almost a whole level and a half in other skills while doing Forager, which gives us our last S tier. If you want to try this level 16 route yourself, I've created a map for this you can see here. I've also put it in the description and it can be found in my Discord. When I finish up on the ultimate foraging guide, I'll be sure to go through all the other possible routes in detail as well. In conclusion, for your passive and semi-AFK games, combat and den raids are going to be your comfiest, followed by Chef, depending slightly on your goals. But for your sweaty, locked in, grind sessions with the piss jar, it's time to fire up your DoorDash account and start doing merchant or going outside and touching grass. Kind of. Please like, subscribe, and be sure to share this video around anytime someone tells you cooking is the best way to gain knowledge points, because telling people they're wrong on the internet is a way of life, and I'll be sure to make more videos like this in the future. You can catch early updates on my research and other sheets in the Tells Tribe Discord, or even help out as we find more stuff about the game. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time.